Hello class, I have prepared this short little video for you to show you how easy it is to work fractions into your everyday life. You know, when you're at home and you're arguing, you don't want to go to sleep, and your mom finally eventually gives in and says, okay, you have half an hour. Well, you know, half an hour is 30 minutes because it's half of 60, and you know that that is 30. So, but why did she say half an hour and not 30 minutes? It's more because it's simpler to say half an hour than it is to say 30 minutes. And that's what fractions really help us do when you understand how they work and different ways to manipulate them. So through this video, I'm going to show you one way in your house that you can use fractions and practice simplifying. You can practice multiplying fractions, and in some cases dividing. Today we'll be more worried about the multiplication of the fraction, not the division, because I need to make more biscuits than I have a recipe for. So, for my recipe, I have a recipe here that makes 8 biscuits. I need to make 16 biscuits, so that means I'll have to double my recipe. Well, with what we have, we know we need 2 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of lard, and 3/4 cup of buttermilk. Now, when we multiply this by 2, now 2 is a funny thing because it doesn't necessarily strike you as a fraction, but we can write 2 as 2 over 1, and then you'll see the fraction easier. So 2 cups of flour times 2 over 1, 1/4 cup of lard times 2 over 1, and 3/4 cups of buttermilk times 2 over 1. So when you do all this math, you will get 4 cups of flour, 2/4 cups of lard, and 6/4 cups of buttermilk. Now, the problem here is, as we all know, these fractions aren't necessarily in the simplest form. So we will have to find ways that we can reduce them. The way you reduce a fraction is you find the greatest number that the numerator and denominator have in common. 2 is your common number in between 2 and 4. So when you take out a 2, you would get 1 over 2, which is 1/2. So you know you need a 1/2 cup of lard. And then for your buttermilk, you would do the same thing. In this case, your number that is the common between the 2 is 2 as well. So you get 3 over 2, which is an improper fraction. So you could actually write that as a mixed number, and you would get 1 and 1/2 cups of buttermilk. Now, the important part to this is to not just realize that, hey, we took this little recipe here that only made biscuits for 8 people and then made biscuits for 16 people. We can also take this recipe and divide it by 2 as opposed to multiplying it by 2 and figure out how much flour, lard, and buttermilk we would need to make a biscuit for 4 people as opposed to 8. So learning how to manipulate fractions can help you from in the kitchen at home to in my class while you're taking a test. So I hope you enjoy, and who knows, I might bring these biscuits to class.